And you want to start, Septimus?
Yeah, sure. My intentions for the call, yeah, as every week, think with you guys, see what's going on, no distractions. Pass it to Tam.
Okay. This sprint is Hatch Outreach, so I'm very excited. Give some updates, share some things that I've updated in order for us to better track the progress that we're making. And distractions. Oh man, I went to the boulangerie hungry and I got 2 cakes, and now I'm really in a lot of pain. It was a big, big mistake. So that's my distraction, just a little tummy ache, and I'll pass to Dan.
Oh man, Bitcoin and DeFi is really distracting. Oh, I guess I started at the end, right? Hi, my name is David, but Dan is also part of my name, so that's cool. I'm liking Dan these days. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to learn about token engineering commons, and I've been participating in the gravity trainings, which I've really have met my needs for understanding conflict resolution in a broader context, and have a way to be involved with nonviolent communication beyond just like my own personal studies. So yeah, I've been excited thinking about the different ways that I can work with TEC.
Thank you. How about you, Juanca? Welcome then.
Thank you. I have no distractions for this call, and my intention is, yes, to help on this Hatcher outreach focus that we have. And I invited Dan because he has been helping like making a repository of the Graviton training on GitHub, and he also made like an onboarding collection of lectures for people to understand the TC. So I think that he can like collaborate a little more, and I want him to like come and understand more on these meetings.
Nice. Thank you, Juan. My intention for this call is to welcome you, David, as much as possible also, but also to go through the agenda and see the points we have for today, and then to sing with everyone. Libby is a little bit sick, so I don't think she will be joining us today. And Jake has like a lot of his plays right now. So I don't think he will be joining us today. So to start, I will share my screen, so it will be easier for all of us. Let me know if you can see it properly. Correct. Right. So this is our agenda for this for today. Basically, I would like to start with the updates and hatches and proposals, and I would like to know how did it go with your brother Juan, since we left that point and he was on board. I want to know, like, because his feedback, he's from someone who is like a satellite, but he's not necessarily part of the community. So I would like to know how that go, blockers, anything that happened that.
Well, no, I think I have gone now to 3 Hatcher onboarding meetings, and they have been going well. We decided that we are going to make that my brother is going to apply for a scholarship, and that we both are going to divide like a family investment that we are going to make. And I also went to approach Ben Schulz with Griff, and to approach YGG, Vitor, and Fabio with Jake. So I think that things are going well, and I'm feeling comfortable with these onboarding calls, and I can offer myself to keep helping with the list and with the reach of the people that have to take.
Thank you, Juan. And was there anything on these meetings that caught your attention, or was like, oh, I didn't expect this question, or something that, you know?
Yes. Grief is very concerned about having more like hard token engineers, and like he wants to attract more of these really skillful people. And but when I talked with YGG, he told me like these hard token engineers really are part of the community and really are seeing really good things in the community, but that they are sometimes not so much visible. And very nice that Griff joined. That yeah, I was telling that you're saying that we need to reach more like hard token engineers, and what YGG said is that yeah, that the token engineers are here, and that they are seeing, and that they are seeing with good eyes the project, and that they are trying to come like to come into the community, but that they are not so active in the chats or so much like visible, but that they are here, and that's good, because sometimes when we think that if we don't see things, they are not there. But it's like having this backup of like sometimes people is not so much visible, but they are there.
Right. Just a note, David, if you have any question at any moment, just you can jump in to ask if you have any doubt or anything that comes around to your mind and needs clarification. Welcome, Griff. So we have also Merli after this call with Jake and Livy. And then Tam, have you onboarded someone, or we're gonna start with these three people that you have sent me the invite? How is that going?
Well, so the past, Heater was somebody that Livia and I reached out to or had a session with today. Blair V was yesterday, and Amin was over the weekend. And they all went pretty well, actually, as well. I think that we're sort of finding our rhythm with doing this.
Have we updated the soft commitment document?
Oh, have I updated it? Oh, have I updated it? Yeah, let me share my screen for a moment.
Sure.
So this DEC curate, every soft commitment that I've been part of is in the soft commitment doc, where we're the one that's sort of locked down, so not so we don't publicize figures associated with people's names. But this one is where we are sort of right now. For the top of our list, anything that's in progress means that we've started to reach out to people and or we have dates in our calendars already. So the ones that we have coming up will be Wesley, Merlin, you mentioned, and that one is Livia and Eduardo, right? Livia and you, right, Eduardo? Mute.
Sorry. It's Jake and Livy.
Jake and Livia, okay.
Yes. I may substitute Livy depending on how she feels, because she's sick, so she doesn't know if she's gonna make it. So I'm just plan B.
Yeah, cool. And then Bonnet, we're looking for a date, but we have dates for Federico, Tanner, and Fabian. And Angela, we're also in the process of planning a date. So that's the ones that are coming up.
Is it possible? I put it at the end of the agenda notes, but it's possible for you to just copy and paste what message did you send to them to reach out, just to have. I put mine there.
Yeah, I just added it to this document, like an outreach message, and it can vary, because there's people that I know and then people that I don't know. So if I haven't met anyone, this is the message that I send.
Oh, it's similar to mine, actually. So that's good. That's it. That's what I wanted to know.
And I added as well, I know you're working on this, but because I had to send some follow-ups immediately, these are the follow-ups that I've been sending, if you want to help craft that.
Yeah.
And then just some useful links that we can send as well. But the main three ones that I've been sending is the membership, the scholarship for the membership, and then the forums, because that's what the proposals in the forums, because that's what people asked about.
And I think we should add there to the list the FAQ, or just because if people wants to keep reading or so on. Today we did a weird. Today we had the AMA call, and then Igor came to this call. So we kind of did a soft onboarding to him because he is quite technical. So he will read the documentation and get back at us to see what's the next step. Or he will jump to the params call later on, Griff, for you to know. He will be like a viewer watching. Okay, so Griff, is there any other update on your side besides what Juanca said from the onboarding hatch?
No, I mean, well, Ben Schultz gave a soft commit, so that's good. I don't think there's any other updates. The only other thing I would just say is remember that this is like we have the base layer, mechanism for funding grants, basically that will promote token engineering and support like public goods in the token engineering space. But that's kind of like just the base layer that gets people there, and it's cool that it's regenerative. That instead, but the real thing is that this is like the meme that's been working really well has been this engineering society, right? That we are kind of like the IEEE or any of these other organizations around like a field of study that emerge to provide value to the people who are practicing that field of study. So we're building this for token engineering, and it's needed. All the token engineers that I talk to, they are aware of IEEE or professional engineering certifications and these sorts of things. So they understand that, like it's a nice analogy. And then instead of having to pay membership dues and fees, you get to direct. It's a commons. You get to direct the experience, and saying like, hey, token engineering is new, and we need token engineers to lead us into how it evolves. And the people who get in during the hatch are going to have a lot of governance rights over steering this new field of study on a cultural level, And this is like all the token engineers will come out of their silos and hang out together and share information. And this is like the layer, the social layer on top of the smart contract.
Can we have a 15 minutes call at some point of this week to just tell me what is a triple IE, or however you want to call that? Because I have zero clue what is that, and if I want to actually onboard these kind of people, I will need to know to understand that metaphor better. I wouldn't do it now. I'm just to be aware of that.
IEEE.org, and you'll know as much as I do. This is what Zargum says. Oh yeah, we want token engineering needs to be like IEEE for this. It's the largest engineering association, mostly for electrical and computer engineers.
Yeah,
I could say something on that too. Is that the IEE it's like there's a whole bunch of different organizations, standards bodies, that they don't all work on standards, but they work on research and all the different components that then branch off. And then like the IETF, where you see all the major internet protocols get developed through. So I really I like that analogy. I see how TC could really become like that's the idea of like Common Stack is to be like a framework, to provide a framework, and then so nested and like TC is just like one layer around that, I guess.
It's one instance of that design.
Yes.
All right. That's a quite interesting topic then. I will get into it later. Thank you, Griff. So, moving on with this, let me get you sharing the screen. We are gonna review the issues that we have on the Sun Hub. I think it's the first time we do this actually, but I think it comes to a time that it's quite needed. Since Jake is here, it makes more sense. Because you have some issues assigned, Jake. So these are the Hatch outreach issues and epics. So we have a very outdated kind of issues. For example, this 152 onboarding working group managed communication with its stakeholders. That is something we don't do. So I will. The reason why we are reviewing these GitHub issues now is to try to understand if there's any way to close, update, or transfer the responsibilities of this to someone else, or how do you approach this, Tam? You're muted.
You're muted.
Rats. Can you scroll down and see what comments have been made in there? So you can see the label, the purple label that says #refinement. That means that we should look at these and try to figure out what we're supposed to do with them. And leading this effort from this, it sounds like his close and initial email should go out soon. So I think that this was when Common Stack was trying to separate the list so that we could contact people who have impact hours in the TEC.
Yes, it seems to. It's just that it's not a Hatch outreach kind of work right now. It's not in the scope of work right now.
You can untag Hatch Outreach, but I also think this is just done and needs to be closed. Griff, from your perspective, is this done? Like the list has been, Dan separated the list so that people in the trusted seed who have impact hours can now be contacted by TEC. Is that correct? I believe that's correct.
Yeah, I think it can be closed because it's basically Dan and Craig are working on it, and Dan is leading it, and it's a common stack issue more than a T issues. That's what I would say.
Right. So putting it down.
I don't think it's done on the common stack side.
Okay.
I wouldn't know. Dan might know.
Yeah, I'm gonna check with Dan.
Yeah, I haven't heard an update on it for a week or two.
Right. Yeah, I just want to run through these small issues that has been like getting there, and every time I open my stand up, I get like these issues. I'm like, I have no idea what is this about. So all right, this one. Did they ever answer you, Griff, the Crypto Economics Institute? I reached them through email. Through Telegram. They never answered at all to me.
I talked to Chris about it, who's kind of the main guy, and he's like, "Send me some documents," and I'm like, "I'll get back to you." So it's okay. I feel like they hacked with us 2 years ago. We have a good relationship there, but he didn't want to set up a call until I could send him some stuff to read. So the FAQ, the Hatcher TLDR, the membership app coming out. Like, I think getting this document together with all the resources, I feel like we just wait until that's ready for them.
I mean, yeah, the FAQ it's ready, and the TLDR that Mitch did, it's also ready, so we can send them those documents.
Yep. I think the last step is just like someone mentioned this week, like having like this little like, oh hey, thanks for the call. Here's all the information in one page, or like Telegram chat or a Google Doc that we can copy and have it. I mean, I think that would take like 30 minutes to put together, right? I don't know that there's any other blockers.
It's a document that Tam has quite like. Do you have a little bit open, Tam? The one that has the closing message. It's kind of it's the basic draft of that kind of document that Griff mentioned.
Yeah, it has those 3 links, and it also has a new link to a slideshow that Jeff put together about everything you need to know about being in the trusted seed. But I think, Griff, you're referring to like the content distribution for Hatch. Jess, Marco, that one that you guys put together?
No, I think what you're saying is what you're referring to is what I'm referring to. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what you're mentioning now. Just that little, like, just all the links put together in a.
Yeah, it's like a get to go document where you can find all the information, the TLDR, FAQ, how to become a hatcher, or links to the proposals and so on. It's like, and it has a hey, thank you for joining, or thank you for getting here. This is the following document for getting back at whatever you need. These are the links for this and this.
Is the FAQ actually, like, I assumed it was going to be published somewhere, not in a Google Doc, but either on the Medium or somewhere.
There is, Nathan has a GitHub, a Gitbook kind of wiki thing that he created. It's on the agenda for this call. It should be I put it there, or in the manifest. It's in the manifesto of Hatch Outreach. I updated today, and it has
so that's the working document. That's the live link we can send to someone.
Yeah, because it's actually I'm gonna share the screen to that.
I'll grab that link and I'll stop editing the Google Doc.
Might as well. Lily did mention. I mean, we will go through the documents later on because this is the last point of the call. So the next this one I will need your help, Jake, because I'm tackling this design of the forum. This is an epic. So I think I think Hatch Outreach Working Group has done their part of the design of the forum, or the things that we needed. I don't know if we need something else from us, Jake.
No, it's just progress on the auto email if you still wanted to continue with that. But I haven't been able to get a direct answer on the actual what we're using, whether it's MailChimp or what. And then Craig was doing something with that, but I haven't heard back from that either. And then again, setting that up is, again, with Discourse is very frustrating because you have to use the DigitalOcean servers and only K can do that.
Okay. I will get. I mean, who is leading? Who is in the back end of the forum now? Because it was Chris, but I felt he abandoned the ship.
Chris doesn't actually have admin. He can't actually change things. He would have to be given those permissions.
So who is leading now the back end of the forum?
Kai.
All right. Okay. I will reach out to Kai. Jake, can you update this issue and just, I don't know what is Kai Kai's username on SendHub? If we can just tag him, just mentioning saying, hey, contact Eduardo, or Eduardo will contact you to update this part of the forum, because I cannot find him.
Okay. Eduardo, do you like Discord? Is that a good place to reach out?
Yeah.
I'll message Kai directly and tell him to get in touch with you and exchange.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have these ones. And then we have J315, improvement of the forum, which is part of the epic, I guess. Yes, this is the issue for that. No problem. We already talked about it. We have this one, TEC Visual Beautiful Stock and Flow Diagram of the DAO. This was the call we had yesterday with Jeff, Jess, Griff, Mitch, and Manuel, and basically it resulted on a workflow. We are gonna use this issue for that. And we will have Manuel will deliver by the end of the week a draft of an improved version of the diagrams that Jeff did. And then Mitch and I will review it basically, and then that will be the workflow for this. Does that work? Does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah, it sounds good. It's not in the sprint. We're going through the product backlog. We're doing a nice refinement session for the product
Sorry.
backlog. Yeah, okay. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, it's the polishing of the egg. That one.
Yeah, you can say so. Basically, it will be the visuals that we will use in our articles that will help the articles to be shaped finally. So
Yeah,
it's a multi-purpose diagrams.
yeah, they
or-
were very helpful diagrams. I agree. They were nice.
Alrighty. So this is. Shall we change something on this time for like for this sprint or something? You're muted.
Right. When I look at that, it is an epic. And we didn't really break it out into issues that are assigned to one person yet. And that would be the next step for that one.
Is it an epic? What's an issue?
It is an issue, but so issues are usually one piece of work assigned to one person.
Right.
And occasionally somebody will just dump something in the body of the issue, which is multiple pieces assigned to multiple different people. And the next step is to just create an issue for each of those out of this and turn this into an epic.
All right.
I think this is communications. This is sort of where communications and Hatcher outreach overlap a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the kind of thing that Marco could take on to turn it into an epic and oh, you're on community potluck. I'm still looking at the number 64. It's okay. Yeah. I'm still looking at 64.
Do you want to keep working on 64 or we are done with 64?
For me, it's in the product backlog, so we're not even looking at it this sprint, but I know that a piece of it did get pulled into this sprint, and maybe it makes sense to pull that piece in and leave the rest as it is.
All right. Sorry, I was just checking. I just wanted to clear these issues that we have been having them there, and there's no progress. There's nothing there, so I just wanted to. We are gonna use 64, so that's fine.
So it's possibly worth saying that the work that we're doing right now is in the sprint backlog, the work that we plan in the sprint planning, and everything in the product backlog just sits there until it gets refined and pulled into the sprint backlog. So if it's in the product backlog, it can be there for a long time. It just means it's something that we may eventually get to or something that we may need to refine, but it's not currently being worked on.
All right, thank you. Cam, can you copy and paste here on 503 the link to the document that you just created, the follow-up message? It's a issue.
Sure, I'll drop it in there. It does still need work, but it's just
yeah,
starting.
It's just I know where I can find it later. All right, so that's that one. Then bring new members into the Hatch Outreach team. We have actually Juan now. It's an interesting one. We talk about this, Tam. Yeah, I need to talk to Evie. To Ivy. Okay. I will try to in the new bookings. Try to invite Ivy and see. I will try to ask her about the time zones. If she can just detail which time zones, which hours she can have free. All right.
Interesting. Like she might be very good for PST actually, because PST would be her morning and their evening.
Yeah. I agree. And then for 18, how to become a hatcher piece, which is a forum post blog. I updated Tem to the latest version yesterday night. Or Griff, or anyone else, Jake, if you want to take a look at it. It looks cleaner than before. I do still feel it's a little bit long, but it has all the things that I think we need. But yeah, it just needs to be run through one more time. So if it's fine, then it should be ready.
I'm searching for the link. Is it in the thread?
I will send it to you right away.
I can find it. I just was wondering if it was in the thread already. I'll drop it in there too.
Yeah, I'm excited to rediscover.
I'm excited.
All right. Juanca, were you gonna say?
Yes, that I don't have access to that, but yes, I.
Sorry, it got cut off.
That I don't have access to this, but I am seeing it like in your share screen. But if you can share the link with me, I would appreciate as well. Yeah, I would appreciate as.
I just dropped it at the bottom of the issue if you want to pick it up there. It's issue 3.
Perfect. Perfect, thank you.
Right. That was my main GitHub issues that I wanted to review. Then the next topic on the agenda for today is there are some recommendations from you, Tam. We have the orientation for new Hatchers outreach volunteers.
Yeah. So I'm Juan Carlos, you just gave some feedback that you've been on a few seconds and you're feeling really, really comfortable doing it now. And I was wondering, with the people that are new to doing a Hatcher outreach, if we do an orientation session, I don't know if that would be useful for you, but I forked off a script from the original script for here. The original script, I don't remember where it is. And this one is more, I don't know, it's sort of like, it's what we're like, all of the touch points that we want to communicate in the Hatcher outreach. And essentially our goal is to share information, to make sure that the person we're reaching out to understands what it is that the Hatch is. And we've raised all the points that they need to understand in order to be a good Hatcher. And I thought that what we could do with people that want to start outreach is to spend 40 minutes, I don't think it even needs to be an hour, going through the script and going through sort of planning, and then we could look at this curate list and figure out how to, like, which seconds that we can slot them into that are upcoming. So I wanted your feedback on that, Eduardo, too, if that makes sense. Maybe we set up a 40-minute session with Eduardo, it's Juan Carlos, Ivy, and Craig, if we could possibly make all that timing work together, and then just review the script and then set up, start adding you to some seconds.
Actually, what we can do, if that works for everyone, since, like, for example, last call for Hatch outreach session, the big one that occurs on 1 p.m. Central European Time on Thursdays, only Septimus came, so, and he had doubts also. But what we can do is to, when that session gets empty, or when people leaves or whatever, we can use it actually that time to do this script review session. Since there won't be anyone else, it should be fine. So I don't know. It will be more about the timings because it's 1 p.m. CET, which is probably way too early for Juan Carlos. Or for Levy, it should be fine, but then for Juan Carlos, probably not. So yeah.
Livy's
Okay.
Livy's great though.
I am good at waking up early, so it will be 7 a.m. So I don't mind. I don't mind if that is the schedule.
Okay, shall we try? I will send a message to Livy today to see if she can make it for.
I don't. It's Craig, Juan Carlos, and Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy. Yeah, sorry. I always mispronounce Ivy and Livy. Yes, to Ivy to see if she can make it tomorrow, and then Craig, I will also message him to see if he's awake or not, or what is. I mean,
That's really tough.
his schedule is complicated, but I can have a one-on-one, and if Juan Carlos you can't, it's fine. Then we can do one with Craig and you, for example. That could also work, because either way, Ivy will probably be not available for yours times. So
Okay, great. I'd love to use the time slot tomorrow. That's a fantastic idea.
right. Great. Let me write down on the agenda. Can you drop the documents link on the agenda, Tam? The ones that you are working?
Yep, can I do that now?
Thank you. We already talked about the outreach script update, so we covered that point also with the other one. And then proposals update. We run, and this is for Jake also. Jake, we run into a blocker in a small blocker in proposals. It seems that if you post more than one link before doing any post on the forum while trying to do a proposal, it doesn't allow you because it's a spam blocker kind of thing. So I had to manually convert the user of Paula into a member number 2 to allow her to post, because otherwise the forum doesn't allow you. It doesn't allow you to post a link or like a limitation with that. Is there any way we can add that to improvements of the forum, or at least only on that section of the forum, that it doesn't have the limitation of the links? Are you there, Jake? I think Jake is not here. So I will write that down and then pass it on to Kai, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, I apologize, Eduardo. I had a call. Yeah, Kai, get a hold of him. What we really need to do is get Chris, the admin, so because he's in an entirely different time zone, and then we'd actually have 2 people that can help. But Chris can't actually do anything. Only Kai can. And we need Chris to be able to have the admin responsibilities with DigitalOcean because it's hosted through Linux servers through DigitalOcean, which provides the cloud. I mean, Discourse is really strange, but that's how it runs. And only Kai has access to the servers, and we need to make sure that Chris can.
And like, we just say Kai, hey Kai, give permissions to Chris, or is there any?
I've been trying, but to no avail. But that's what we need to do, because Kai's very busy. He's got Giveth, Meta, and then he helps us.
Okay. Okay. And there's no one else who can give permissions to Chris?
No, only Kai. Kai controls it. It's only Kai.
This is a transparency issue. Septimus? We should not have centralized access only to one person, and this is the same with the Twitter kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna solve this, but if we can work on that, Septimus, at some point, it will be nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, one way just to make that easier, because I play with DigitalOcean, is that if you can give him the public key, like with the request to do
Well, see, dude, I did
permissions.
that. I did that myself. So because updating it is super easy for the discourse. To update the forum is super easy. It's 3 commands. And then, I asked the one guy, did he give you a droplet? Because that was another method too. And he doesn't have, like Chris doesn't, he can't even use it. And then I was like, okay, well, here's my key. And he was like, okay, you're hooked up. And I still can't log it. And I'm like, what's going
Oh,
on?
man.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, all right, well, okay. And he's still the only one that can do anything. So we got droplets out there. We're giving keys out, and still nobody except this guy. So I don't know what's wrong with the server or what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Yeah.
This is a very simple thing, the link thing. This is not a major update, but the reason why we cannot do this little thing could be a major complication.
Yeah, yeah. Down the road, it very much could be. Yeah.
Alrighty. Following time advice, I look into. You really look surprised. Like I never follow your advice, Tim. So following Tim's advice, I took a look into grants for Gitcoin to see which projects were related to token engineering, to see if we can actually have a conversation with them and invite them over. So I will share my screen again to show to show the ones that I look at that I found. This one called Trickle. I don't know. Yeah, Trickle. It's basically it's a token-based contracts, and it's like managed through smart contracts and so on. I'm gonna be fast. We can review them later. I will add the links. Then we have social tokens and DAO plus carbon accounting. That's another one. Then we have this guy. I mean, he's by himself, so he could be also interested in this kind of thing. He doesn't have a project. It's like he is asking for himself, basically. He has projects there. So that one could be interesting. The other ones that I found, they were not active at all. They hadn't received any funds. They were just like dead. So I found these 4. There's another one that it's a European. This one, European Crypto Initiative, Educating Policymakers on Centralization. I found that interesting one. It's more of an educational side, but we can take a look at it. So I don't know if this was what you had in mind, Tam.
So it wasn't actually my idea. It was originally Griff's idea. Yeah, it's a good question of how we proceed from here. I think that maybe we need to solicit the collective intelligence and try to get more of other opinions on the ones that you're proposing, right? Or other people might know them too. I don't have a great way of evaluating right now whether they're aligned necessarily with the social impact, value-driven ethos of the TEC. But if they are, I think it would be great to invite them to submit a proposal to the TEC as well.
All right. Okay, we can probably submit these links to the community stewards and see what they think about it, and see if anyone from the community steward at the beginning knows.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great next step would be sort of like, here for a small little paragraph with a link to each. And what do you guys think about soliciting these people for the proposing to the TEC for funding? That last one, that educating policymakers, it's interesting. I wonder. I'm just curious about like what angle they would approach it from.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be interesting to add different topics to the mix. Probably that's why I found that one interesting. Okay, so we are 30 minutes before it's finished. We have 5 documents. Well, not 5. We have a bunch of documents that we have been working on. I'm gonna share my screen again. So there is this documents, the FAQ updated that became a GitHub, a Gitbook. We have the TLDR, we have the script, and we have the piece of how to become a hatcher. All of them are on this document that just created, which is basically a compilation of I think I already have this one open, which basically is a compilation here. So it's called Hatcher Content. It's a document that just created, and you have how to become a hatcher, hash TLDR, and you have the visual brainstorming for the diagrams. And it's a working document that we are using for issue 64, basically. So this is also a little bit part of the document that you shared, Han, with the piece of the follow message. Here, this one is more of a internal one use, kind of where you have all your data. And anyone can, if anyone wants access to this document, just let me know. It's on the agenda. It should be open. But the main idea is for everyone, Juanca and everyone else who wants to help with the onboarding of hatchers, to take a look at them, take your time, see if there's any doubt, if there's any feedback that you want to provide about them. The hash TLDR, it's a little bit chaotic right now. Just scroll down until it says hatch technical TLDR, because they just drop ideas at the beginning of the document, so it may look confusing, but the actual document is below that. So once you reach there, you will find all the technical approach to the hatch and all the information that Mitch created. So yeah, that's basically all the updates we have done. For today, we have updated also the manifesto with the links and so on. So yeah, if anyone else have any other doubt or questions, Tam, for example, or
Oh yeah,
something.
just a small thing. I'm noticing that the FAQ is on Gitbook, but it's on Nate's personal Gitbook,
Yes.
and it looks great. But Token Engineering has a Gitbook too, and I think it makes
Yes.
more sense to put it there. Is that already in progress?
Yes, Libby, she commented me on this on the AMA, because on the AMA we showed to Igor the Nathan version, mainly because the version that is in the Token Engineering Gitbook is not finished, and it's rather confusing. So this Nathan one is clear, it has the content, and basically that's why. But Libby commented that they were going to change that and put all that in content into the Token Engineering Gitbook. I guess it will take some time to do so. I don't think Nathan bothers by that, but I will ask probably about it.
It's more that as we
Mhm.
start distributing, as we start distributing this link, that's going to be the link that everyone goes to. So that's all. We'll be publishing it and posting it on Twitter. And yeah, I wonder if it just makes sense for us to carve a little space out of the Token Engineering Gitbook.
Yeah. Yeah, it has the space already. It's just that it's not distributed properly, and it's just chaotic at the moment. Yes,
Would you share the link to that document in the chat, Hatcher Outreach chat channel?
yes, sure. The Nathan one, you mean the FAQ?
The one you just had up that had like the list of all the different.
Yes.
The FAQ was in there, and the other, because I'm like Juan mentioned, I have been working, or I started working on, just while trying to navigate what is TEC, how is that associated with all the various organizations that surround and the different, and so I've been making a GitHub list sort of to try to organize all that for myself, but also, to make it easier for others. So
Yeah, I just put it.
whatever.
I just pasted on the channel. And if you don't find, or it doesn't work, or for whatever reason it's private, just send me a message on Discord or Telegram, and then I will reach back to you to unlock that or have the other copy for you. give you access if it is locked. It shouldn't be, but just in case.
No, it's good. I'm in there, so thank you.
Awesome. So if anyone has something else to say or to add, then we are 7 minutes earlier today. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And I hope you enjoyed your day.